Hi everyone, it's Nana, Foxy Mama 365 with another scoop of Wendy Williams. So yesterday, Wendy Williams came out on her show and said to us that she has been living in a sober house for a little while. And literally, she said nobody knew about this. So here is a little bit of what she said.
Kevin and I have the Hunter Foundation for the Good of the People, and we recently launched our 8885 Hunter number for those of you caught up in the struggle of addiction. Well, for some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house. When you see me come to work, glammed up, right after the show, I go across the street, I do my Pilates. I told you 2 hours a day, I like to take care of my body.
But the thing is, she did say that no one knew about it. No, I don't believe that. She said only Kevin and little Kevin knew about what was going on with her, and even her parents didn't know. And once she left the show, she would go straight back and maybe meet with a few friends and do a little round meetings. And then she'll have her sober coach take her to the sober house, and she would hang out with some young boys there. And these young boys have become her friends, and literally they just watch TV. Well, the boys watch TV. She reads and they talk and she reads, and by 10 o'clock, lights out. My question is, why is Wendy choosing to come out now? And why isn't she giving us the entire truth, of what really is going on with her? It's been alleged that her husband, Kevin Hunter, has a mistress out there that lives really like a few blocks away from where they live in New Jersey. And it's also alleged that the girl is pregnant for his child. But she didn't say anything about this and if it's true. Now, while I understand that she's probably trying to keep some of her things private, but Wendy has always been the person to spill every other person's tea. So we're like, okay, spill your whole tea and let's know, so that it's not coming out drip, 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 So it's kind of sad. I believe that the reason why Wendy did decide to come out with this story was because it was alleged that a media house was going to out her out about this whole being in the sober house. Apparently they had a footage of her going in there, but nobody really knows for sure, and she's come out and said this, so good for her. So this media house had actually said they had a footage of her going in with her husband to this home, and so they were going to out her out. But also, I also believe that the reason why Wendy came out too was because last week she had a sprouting match with Howard Stern. And Howard Stern, literally, he didn't say that she had any substance abuse, but he did say that his guys felt that there was something weird or something odd about her. And he didn't say if it was anything drugs, but he did go in on her because the week before she had said on her show, on the Wendy Williams show, that she liked Howard and Howard was a good guy and all of that, but that he had become Hollywood. He was no longer a man of the people. And now when Howard heard this, Howard was like, and he called her every word you can think about. He called her the B word, he called her the C word, and he was like, and then of course he mentioned, why don't you look into your husband, deal with your own issues, and he also said, his guys thought she was off and they didn't really want her on the show, and even how her colleagues also didn't want her, and Nick Cannon had been there and they were happier with Nick Cannon, and he really went out on Wendy. I also believe that Wendy is, I think she's a hero for coming out. I'm not taking that away from her. And I'm definitely not here to judge her. But I want to take our minds back to when Wendy made a phone call to Whitney Houston. And I think that for me was when I was like, nah, I'm done with Wendy. When Whitney Houston called into Wendy Williams' show, I believe then Wendy was, I believe then Wendy was still on the radio, and Wendy said, Whitney really did not she was hoping for the call to come through. And when the call came through, she was like, oh, Whitney, how are you? Wendy was not magnanimous. She wasn't gracious towards Whitney. She kept saying, oh, how are you doing? Can you explain about Bobby Brown and his absence? At that point, I think Bobby Brown had just left the house and was no longer, I think he had just been incarcerated. And she kept on saying, oh, what about the drug use and what is going on with that? Do you regret the Dan? And Whitney kept on saying, hey, you don't know me like that. Stop talking to me like a child. And Wendy still went on and she was like, no, okay, what about you? The fact that we're hearing that you're no longer spending, you're cutting back on your expenditure. You're no longer giving your mother $1,600 for home, for weekly care, and that you've cut it down to $500. And Whitney literally went crazy and was like, girl, you're not my friend. You don't know me. The people that know me know me. I would never do that to my mom. Don't make me cuss at you. And I thought Wendy was being sarcastic. She was like, well, how are you going to take care of Bobby, the little Bobby? And how are you going to explain to her Bobby Brown's absence from the home? And I was like, really? She really was not magnanimous. But now Wendy expects us to be gracious towards her. Fair enough. She might have been a younger Wendy. But I'm like, Anyways. Wendy, we wish you well. You know, I hope you, really take this time. While the Wendy Williams show is your come up, your big come up. But the show is really not all that for you to lose your soul. Take this time to actually heal, get yourself right, get your mind right. And when you're done with that, then you can come back. I know she might probably be wanting to work and at the same time also, keep her mind off what is going on in her life, but I believe, in my opinion, I think she should just sit back. Nick Cannon was doing a great job. Other people were filling in for her and they could have just continued doing it. I'm going to put a link to the interview with Whitney Houston and Wendy on her radio station, and you can listen to it for yourself and judge how magnanimous she was towards Whitney. I'm not here to bash Wendy. I'm really happy that she has come out, and I really hope she can, get her life back on track, So, thanks for watching. Be sure to share, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to tell us, what do you guys really think? What do you think about this whole Wendy thing? Should she give us more tea? Has she done? I don't know. All the best, Wendy. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.